What is going on YouTube? Man, this is going to be two videos one day. This is to finish off the little, I guess you would call it, gear series that I've been doing on my channel. And this one's going to cover archer gear specifically. So I've already covered infantry gear. I've already covered cavalry gear. I'll maybe put the videos on the end screen, or maybe I'll do one of those card things. I'm trying to figure out exactly how they work. I'm not good with the YouTube, not yet, but I'm trying to make my videos a little bit more professional. And again, we can get right on into it. I got my notes here. And not to sound like a broken record, like I said in the last video, but the whole philosophy with gear is that you're trying to get as much stats as you can for as cheap as you can material wise, and try to get as much health and defense on your gear as possible. Those are kind of like the guiding principles. So I still want to put that in every video just in case you don't watch the others, because that's very important. But I didn't want to spend as much time as I did on that as the first video. Okay, so now let's go through. What I'm going to do is go through each, what I think are some of the more better value oriented pieces that you can start with, or that's what you kind of want to work towards. And then I'll talk about, as you get more seriously into considering crafting legendary pieces, what does a good value set look like to just get you started in, let's say, a Season of Conquest, and then what does a finalized gear set look like. Okay, so I'll start with the some noteworthy items. So the Staff of the Lost, and I think all of the infantry, not infantry, but the archer weapons all give you defense, and 8%, is very good. 10.5% special talented. I would just start there. Now you can eventually upgrade to the Golden Age, and the Golden Age is extremely good once it's special talented as an upgrade from the Staff of the Lost. But if you want to hold on to the Staff of the Lost for quite some time, that's totally understandable. And then even though I talk about legendaries towards the end, even the weapon, which normally has attack for the other units, they add the archer weapons actually have defense, which is a great plus. Boom. So those are the weapons. Now for the helmet, I feel like your options are a little limited, but the options you have are like totally fine. You can start with the Helmet of Phoenix, but the big ticket will be the Revival Helm, and then the Revival set is actually like insane for what it's actually giving you. So I think what you should really be striving for is that Revival Helm, but you're not going to have that right out the gate. So the Helmet of Phoenix is still a superb, green item. All right. So now with the chest, like the blue option is so good. You get 6% archer health. You want health. And archer health is particularly a little bit harder to get. There's a lot of attack on archers, and attack is actually okay. I think a little bit more okay for archers is because most of them do area of effect skill damage, and their attack stat will make them do a lot more AoE damage. But it is still, generally speaking, good to have health, and this will give you 8% of it, right? Alternatively, if you're into crafting the entire revival set, that'll give you 6% more stats, including some defense. Once you get 4 pieces, the revival plate is totally fine. Like I said before, if what you're trying to do is do a wee bit more damage, and archers are usually in a better position to take advantage of that increased attack, the revival plate is definitely good. Now and I feel like the gloves is the weakest. Like you got the Saint Song, which is 4% attack, and it doesn't look like much, but then when you consider that the Revival Gauntlets only gives you 4.5%, it's like, well, it's not that bad. The only thing that the Revival Gauntlets has going for it is that you kind of need it to complete the 3% defensive bonus, and you actually get quite a bit of stats for your other troop types, but that only matters if you're like defending a city or an object, and then it's like you would use a peace shield. So it's no. So the only thing you really care about is the archer stat, which is, I think, lacking. And like, for that reason, I could see why, because especially in the early game, archers are really hard to like utilize because of the archer commanders that's available. So I feel like the Saint Song, just to have a something, if you have archers, and let's say, because I don't even use archers right now in a KBK3, I have no march that I feel comfortable bringing them out. So I could see how a Saint Song would be used. You just got something from, let's say, Canyon or something like that with YSG or something. Okay, but Revival Gauntlets is the best you can do, and both of those I feel like are relatively weaker options. And then you have going to the pants. The pants are actually pretty respectable. They give you 7.5% defense for the revival set. And then also the Greaves of the Exiles give you 6%, 8% special talented. So in a way, until you're able to craft like all of the revival set kind of together, at least sets of 2 or all 4, it's generally better just to stick with some of these lower tier pieces, especially when it's the pants, and I believe the chest. The chest. Um, there's just really good blue options for both of those pieces. But again, once you can get the special talent, it's a really good piece. Now you got I think one of the better value-oriented pieces. What I want to really direct your attention to is the Flame Treads. 5.5% health is excellent. I can't really ask for much more, and the health is definitely well needed. And the fact that it comes on a purple, that's just very affordable, is even better. So the Flame Treads is definitely what you want to be shooting towards for your archers for sure. Okay, so in my opinion, the pieces that are the weakest, assuming you're gonna craft the full revival set, would be the ones that give attack, the chest piece, and then the gauntlets. Unfortunately, like I said, the weakest piece, even all the way through, is the gloves. And when you do upgrade, all you're going to get is attack. And like I said before, attack is actually respectable on the archers because they generally do the big AoE skill damage. So the attack, kind of gets utilized in a way that's a little bit more powerful than some other troops, because especially with infantry, they're typically more supportive, tankier type of options that necessarily don't always, like, of course Guan does lots of AoE damage, but not all. A lot of the commanders don't do AoE damage in the same way. So and they are supportive, so the defense and stuff matters a little bit more on them, and attack a hell of a lot less because they're not trying to do damage per se. But even still, the Dragon's Blood Vambraces is definitely a great piece, and then it comes with a bonus, and you get more attack. I know it's a lot of attack going on archers. That's okay. And then the big ticket would be the Dragon's Breath Plate, and to get the 2-set bonus. And this one gives you 11% health, which if you did the Revival Plate, is a huge upgrade. And then some people even keep the Commander's Armor, which is still an upgrade from the Commander's Armor, which will give you more health. And in fact, I still use the Commander's Armor for my archers as well. Well, it's on Ethelflaed, but I use YSG behind it. Okay. Oop, I didn't mean to go out. So a value-oriented set to kind of just what's your benchmark, so to speak, that you're going for as you enter the Season of Conquest would be the Golden Age. Then you have the Revival Helm. You would do where is it here? You would craft the Dragon's Breath Plate. You would do Dragon's Breath Vambraces. You would get the Revival Greaves. And then you have the Flame Treads. Okay, And I'm actually thoroughly impressed by the full set, legendary set that you can get with the archers. Um, the weapon is great. Although there's some pieces, I think the helmet and the helmet and the gloves have attack. Totally fine. I think, yeah, and also the pants, because archers do really well with attack. I think that's totally fine. You'll get some health from the breastplate, the chest, and then the boots are fine. Defense is fine. But the biggest bonus is the skill damage is very good, because again, archers are all into doing skill damage. And then once you get the 6 pieces, you will have a 5% health, which I think is very good for archers. It just sucks that you have to have all the pieces to do it. But I think this set in its entirety is actually okay. And I would recommend doing this, and then that kind of makes it so you don't have to get KVK items for your archers. You can just get the KVK items for your other marchers, and that kind of like saves you there a little bit as well. So there's a lot of economical advantages in game, so to speak, to doing a full set. And if I was going all the way, that's what I would do. Um, I only plan on making one archer set. I thought I would be into archers more, but surprisingly, I'm not. I think that definitely you trying to find somewhere to put YSG is very important, because of how much damage he can actually do, and putting the archer commander in front of him to utilize this. It has to be done in the Season of Conquest, I think, by everybody. So you definitely want this gear will definitely make them hit harder and have a little bit more survivability as well. Not more attack than some of the other gear pieces that I've talked about in some of the other videos, but still, nonetheless, archers, right? So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know how you like. Leave a comment. Did you like the gear series that I did, the new updated one? I know I didn't talk about iconic in these videos, the 3 videos, but I did talk about iconics in their separate video, and maybe I'll put that video in the end screen as well, so you can refer to that, which I'll talk about more about iconic equipment in depth. So who knows? Now that I think about it, maybe I'll make a video on what accessories that I think are super good, and then that'll like finish it out, because that's something I didn't talk about as much, but I think it's definitely very valid. So you're a wonderful person. Hopefully this video helped. See you in the next video.